Hello and welcome
to the Mariah Report.
I am Martin Burgess.
And I'm Dan Enriquez.
And joining us today is a very special guest. We're thrilled to have her here.
Honored to have her here. She is the principal dancer of the American Ballet Theater here in New York City.
Yes, but not only that, the first African-American principal dancer ever in the company's history.
Ever. 75-year history. She is the first one. She is breaking down all the barriers.
She's the Barack Obama of ballet.
She really is. She really is.
Not only that, she's also author of the books Ballerina Body, that's her newest book, and then her autobiography, A Life in Motion.
Right. I read both of them. I'm not even a ballerina. I don't need a ballerina body, but I read it.
Yeah. You need to know what's up.
You need to know what's up.
Yeah.
And Misty knows what's up. She has also been named Time Magazine's one of the top 100 most influential people.
Yeah.
She has a clothing line with Under Armour.
Yes. She also toured with Prince.
Unbelievable.
And danced to
The Beautiful Ones.
The Beautiful Ones, can you believe? You can also see her in her documentary, which is out now on streaming services, Misty Copeland, A Ballerina's Tale.
Oh my God, I watched it like 3 times.
That's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I could watch it over and over because she's just so likable and so fascinating.
I know, right?
So without further ado,
please welcome to the show the one and only Misty Copeland. Misty, welcome.
I feel like there should be like an applause.
Yeah, we need something.
I'm so excited to be
Welcome
here.
to the show. We have been dying to talk to you all about Mariah.
Yeah.
And I think first of all, you're the prima ballerina, like unbelievable of America. Like, you're like America's princess ballerina. And then I think it was years ago that I saw you maybe on the Today Show or something. You had said something about loving Mariah and her being an inspiration. I was like, oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
And then fast forward like a year or two later, and you're on the Unstyled podcast.
Yeah.
And you keep bringing up Mariah, and I'm listening.
Yeah,
You keep bringing her up. And the host almost like sort of cuts you off. And I was like, wait a minute, I was into that story.
Yeah, same. I'm like trying to talk to you through the podcast. I'm like, no, what? Huh?
Say more.
Yeah, so I was like, Martin, we have to get Misty on because we have to get all the Mariah info.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that, just like, it's amazing.
It's really interesting because with that's not at all where we were supposed to be going with that podcast. Actually, my manager Gilda was like banging on the windows, like, "What are you talking about? It's supposed to be about Disney." And we just kept going on and on about Mariah.
I know. That's what I was like. I'm pretty sure that there's an agenda behind this podcast.
Yes.
I think it's like the Nutcracker or something.
The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. But it was actually the first time that I feel like I've ever been just kind of let free and loose just to keep going about Mariah. And it came up so organically because she's had such an impact and influence on my life since I was 7 years old when when her first album came out.
We are in the same book, Misty. All the way.
I think what really caught my attention was when you said that Mariah, when you were listening to Mariah, it sparked you to start moving.
Yeah. It's really crazy. And
Yeah.
I say this a lot whenever, I have panel discussions or interviews and people are like, what made you dance? And I'm like, Mariah Carey. And they just started cracking up. And I'm like,
Right?
but really she did.
Yeah, I know, it's serious.
Yeah, it was such an interesting like chain of events that happened.
Right.
I'm one of 6 children, and at the time, my baby brother was just born that year, so he was the 6th child, the year that Mariah's debut album came out. So I feel like that's how I like connect everything with Mariah albums.
You're
like,
totally the same.
You're in the right
people.
crowd. That's how we do everything. What Mariah album was out?
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like, it was also really a tumultuous time in my childhood. And my mother had just married her 4th husband.
Wow.
And so, there was a lot of moving around and never any stability.
Right.
Mariah Carey just became this like staple in our house, like something that I felt like I could hold on to that wasn't ever going to leave me.
It's that one steady thing that is always there, almost like a comfort blanket or like, like when you're a baby, you have like a pacifier, whatever it is.
And she's still that to me to this day.
Yes, to this day.
Yeah.
That is like amazing because like that's me. Same thing. We were the same age. I think we are the same age. So her first album, I was 8 years old. I wasn't dancing or doing anything, but I connected with her because it was the only thing that was steady in my life.
Right.
I also come from like tumultuous, crazy, background and everything. So I'm like, that's the only steady thing that's been here with me.
The consistent thing.
Yeah. And so that's like my whole connection. And when I heard your you talking about it, I was like, that's my girl right there,
Yeah.
Misty Copeland. That's my
But
girl.
I know that so many people have that, find that within her and through her music. And I mean, as much as, she's seen as this diva, I feel like she's so grounded.
Yes.
And I feel like no one would ever describe her that way, but there's just, I think, something that I've always connected with. And, again, being biracial, it's so funny looking back at like pictures of my mom when I was that age, when her album came out, and she looked so similar to Mariah. And I think that was something I also like held on to. And again, being biracial and having someone to connect with and not feeling like different, but accepted in this way that
seeing
I could,
yourself.
Yeah, seeing myself. And I feel like that's definitely the position that I'm in now, with so many young girls and boys that look up to me and see themselves as brown people and being able to be a part of whatever it is they want to do, but specifically dance and ballet and
it's
how
like
rare
paying
it is.
that forward, that Mariah was like that representation for
She
you. And now you
was.
are representation for so many people.
But it was in a way that I never would have been able to like articulate that at that age, but it was just like there.
Yeah.
And I would just be ready. I mean, I was so shy and so quiet, but if anyone talked about Mariah, I was like taking out my earrings.
I know.
Bring it.
Bring it. So I think Martin and I on Instagram had posted you dancing to a song, Looking In. And you said like that was the song, like you thought she was writing that song for you. Like it was like, and I'm like, that's the same thing when I hear that song.
I think that's what she's so good at.
Yeah.
And writing a lot of her own music, which is rare to find, is that she really just brings like stuff that she goes through and stuff that so many people can relate to. But looking at, I literally was like, this is me. Like, this is crazy.
This is it. And
this girl who lives inside a golden world.
Oh my God, she knows all the lyrics.
Don't believe that's all there is to see. You'll never know the real me.
Amazing.
How old were you?
So that was
95.
95.
I think I was
so.
15, about to turn 16 when that came out, and that was such a crazy time in my life.
Right,
Why?
but you started in ballet. You were already dancing in ballet by the time that song came out.
Right.
Yes, I was already. I was 13 when I started dancing, and I like took off really quickly.
Yeah.
By the time I was 15 years old, I had won the Music Center Spotlight Awards, which is a big arts competition in Southern California. And then I was given a full scholarship to attend the San Francisco Ballet School. And that was kind of when things started to get a little bit crazy at home. And I was living it with my ballet teacher and her husband, because they were just like, if you're going to do this professionally, you need to like focus. And it's rare that you would become a professional with only 4 years of training, which happened with me. So I went through a crazy court situation, and it was during that time that like I would lock myself in the bathroom. When we were living in a motel at the time, so I was back and forth. My family was living in a motel, but I was living with my dance teacher. And then when that relationship ended and I needed to go to another ballet school, I was back living at the motel, and I would literally just lock myself in the bathroom and like listen to Looking In like over and over and over and just like bawl my eyes out. And she was just like this savior for me always throughout my life. Yeah.
Same here. I was in sort of a very similar situation. We at one point were living in a motel and all of that stuff. And so like you had your dance teacher, take you in. And for me, that was my grandmother. Okay. And then she passed away, and I had to go back and live with my
and go back into that situation.
And I was like, and so Mariah was that thing
that you could like hold on
to. And
it
was around the same time.
Yeah,
like,
that's
the whole
so
daydream.
wild.
I know. That's why I was like, Misty
Are
is
you my brother?
girl.
No.
Yeah.
I would love to be your brother.
Lamb brother.
Exactly. So what are, other than Looking In, what are some of your other favorite Mariah songs?
Get my notes out.
Okay.
I'm serious. Get it out.
Please.
She's ready.
Misty comes prepared.
So much, but it's funny. I actually have this video that I have not put out in public, and I would need to get like a clearer version of it. But do you remember the show?
Oh, I'm sure we remember. I'm sure we do.
The show Fanatic on MTV?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
I remember.
It was.
And there's our studio cat
making her appearance.
Oh my gosh, she's screaming like Mariah.
Yes, she knows.
She's like, Well, there's this crazy show on MTV where like you'd send in a video of yourself of like being crazy, and if they chose you were like the biggest fan of that person, they do a surprise visit and you meet your idol. And so I never was on it, thank God.
But you wanted to do it?
You did submit a video.
I made a video.
Yes.
And I actually sent it to Mariah. I'm crazy. I'm like dancing on top of my brother's like Beetle. Is that what they're called?
A car?
Yeah. It was like a little Volkswagen. Like,
a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. And I was like, I remember I was like jumping on it, like screaming, and like the whole thing dented in. And I was like, I didn't do it. But it's crazy. I'm like doing jetés through the street, like, I'm your biggest fan. And then my niece Mariah was just born.
Oh, wow.
And so I had her, me and my little sister who was filming me, we snuck my niece in the room and locked the door. My sister was in the living room. She didn't know we had her.
Yeah.
And I'm like holding her, and her name's Mariah. She was named after Mariah.
Of course.
Yeah. And her head like bobbing all over.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is my niece Mariah. And my sister, you can hear her, she's like, where's my baby? And we're like, we're almost done.
Listen, it's for the better good.
It is.
I'm doing something.
I'm doing something really important. No, but it's really crazy that
That is amazing, because I would do that. I did videos like that, and I sent them into the Oprah show. I never made it on the show. I went to the show, but I never made it.
that I
to
never
the show.
made it on.
Right.
Good luck. But one day I'll release that video. No, I mean, there's just too many that I had to write stuff down.
Okay.
Mariah, I don't know if she introduced me to, but I became obsessed with Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, yes.
And I don't recall if I was before, if it was because of her.
The breakdown video.
Yeah.
And song.
Yeah, that was like a big one for me. I remember I was away in San Francisco, and I would buy every single that I could find. It was ridiculous. I mean, I just had like stacks of like the same song with like a slightly different edit.
The Japanese edition and all that stuff.
It was so ridiculous.
But you had to do it.
You had to. You need everything.
You're not going to go to bed happy that night.
No. I was Trey Lorenz too. I was like,
we love Trey Lorenz.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Everything Fades. Oh my God.
Oh my
good
Everything
one.
Fades. That's such a good
Now,
one.
what's this? Your favorite songs?
That was yes.
Okay.
Everything Fades.
That's because here's the thing.
I'm such a nerd.
A lot of people don't know that one because it's only on like the
it's like
B-side.
a B-side.
It's
Yeah.
B-side.
Oh,
it's a good
so
one.
Oh, it's
really
so
good.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. The Roof.
Obsessed with the Mobb Deep remix.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
How sexy is she in the video?
I know.
I was like, girl,
so
I want to be in a limo.
She had some really sexy moments like during that time.
The butterfly era.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
Even
God,
with
that's like
the
her
crazy
best.
eyeshadow and like butterflies and just
I was here for all of it.
Too,
everything.
The butterflies, and my teacher would be like, "Please take those out of your hair." They'd be like bouncing when I danced. The Wind. Did I already say that? No.
Yeah,
The Wind.
That's a beautiful
Good.
one.
Outside.
Beautiful.
Outside's one of that's his ultimate favorite.
Oh, really?
It's like, my gosh, you know what I mean? And we know Mariah was writing that song because, feeling outside of being biracial and things.
I know.
For me, it was more of like me being, gay.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm always going to be on the outside of things. Oh my God, that song is everything. Everything.
All of them are, but yes.
Yeah,
right? Underneath the Stars was a big one for me.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, All in Your Mind.
Love. Mm-hmm.
The high notes in there.
Oh my God, no, it's so funny. So the other day, a friend of mine, I was going to a different rehearsal. I rehearse all day, no break.
How
switching
many hours?
8 hours. It's
Wow.
ridiculous. But so I'm leaving rehearsal to go to another studio, and my friend goes, I was listening to Mariah's first album this morning or something, and I was like, what? What do you know about that?
Yeah.
What do you know about Mariah?
He was like, I know it. And I was like, you know this song? And I put it on, and I did a whole dance number to it, and someone
Get
put it
outta
on
here.
Instagram stories, and I was dying.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dancing. No, I'm dancing. It's insane. Hold on, I have to find it.
It's so crazy. If somebody else mentions Mariah or says something about, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh no. Hold on.
Okay, so Misty's showing us a video.
Oh my God.
Is this recently?
Yeah, this was 2 days ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Wait, where is it? No, it's crazy. I couldn't believe it. My friend Patrick. Oh, is there no volume? Oh, it's because my Bluetooth is on.
Oh. Technology. I tell you.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, so this is not ballet. Right?
I'm just getting down.
Yeah.
It is
my
ridiculous.
God. No,
Wait.
anytime somebody mentions Mariah or anything,
No,
I go full
I'm
Mariah
like,
mode.
Full Mariah mode,
Really
yeah.
do you really know?
Oh no,
music?
it's so
That's why I,
funny.
put it
Like
on. I
even
was like, no.
when Martin and I met, or when I meet anybody who says they're a Mariah fan, I'm like, okay,
you have
hold
to prove
on.
Yourself.
Oh, you're a Mariah fan?
Oh,
yeah.
no, you? Oh no,
We're doing the quiz. Yeah.
Right? I'm
all
like,
the
yeah. That's
time.
why I was like, do you know this song?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no, sorry, I don't.
Yeah, you know everything.
It's ridiculous, but yeah.
Now, do you ever, when you're out rehearsing and things, like, are you able to like listen to your own music? Like, do you put a playlist on, or you're like focused like on the music of the show?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm in rehearsals, so we have like a pianist that we rehearse with, and then we have an orchestra in the orchestra pit in the theater. But when I'm like putting my makeup on and stuff,
Oh,
like,
yes.
that's what I like to get into, whatever mood it is, whatever character I'm playing before a show. Like, that's really important to me. Like having music on, like whatever, if I'm warming up or something before I go on stage. But whenever I do anything like outside of ABT, like Under Armour shoots or any commercials, like I put on whatever music I want, like Mariah, Drake, whatever.
All the good stuff. All the good stuff.
What's your go-to Mariah right now?
Oh my God!
Have
I
you
know.
listened to her latest
Yeah,
album?
yeah.
I know. I'm not. How dare I ask?
So Portrait, I'm obsessed with.
Portrait's so good.
So beautiful.
I
So
love
beautiful.
Portrait, and I like Caution.
Caution's
My
good.
favorite.
I
Yeah,
like The
that's a good one.
Distance.
The Distance is good.
Yeah.
Eighth grade is my jam.
Oh, really?
I'm obsessed with eighth grade.
The whole
I
outro.
keep
of
studying
Eighth
it.
Grade. Oh, love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think my like constant that I just like keep going back to of Mariah's all the time is like Emotions and Daydream, like those albums. Those albums, because I think they were just like at such a critical time in my life that I feel like they're so comforting.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Like,
I'm sort of the same way, but my like go-to song, because I remember growing up and like all the craziness going on, when she released "Make It Happen." I was like, this is my anthem. If you believe in this stuff and know what you want, you're gonna make it happen. I had my little tiny boom box, little baby gay me jamming out to Mariah. It was good.
I love it. I mean, it's just, all of her songs, like you could just pick them and like write, and it'd be like, oh, this is the story of my life.
Right,
You could just like take different songs and put them together.
Yeah.
I just have Make It Happen on here right now.
Oh, yes.
My God, what else? I love Drake when he took Emotion. He did Emotionless.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Because I'm a huge Drake fan, and I put the album on, and then I was like really confused. I was like, did my thing skip to
Right?
Mariah?
Is it fast forward or something? Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God. How can they have come together? I'm going to go crazy.
I know.
But then I love I love all of her like covers that she does, like, and how important it is for her that she loves music.
Yeah.
I
She
know.
loves to,
And
like,
when she does a cover song, how she brings it into like a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
She almost owns them. They become her song.
Right.
And you can't listen to the originals
it's
ever
so
again.
Sad. I know. It's I like don't want to say this because it's so embarrassing, but because I've worked with Prince for a very long time,
Right,
But
yeah, right.
and it's so crazy because she did the Beautiful Ones,
Right.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I knew who Prince was. I grew up hearing his music, but
Right.
I didn't
You know.
know his music very well.
Right.
Like he wasn't being played around the house. Like I saw him on MTV or whatever.
Right.
And so I like kind of thought that was Mariah.
Right?
And you're like, oh.
But then, like, that was the song he chose for me
you
to
to dance
perform
to.
to with him on
Wow,
tour, the Welcome
yeah.
to America tour. So it's just like, it just meant
I
so
mean,
much.
it's like a so
Full
full
You knew the
circle.
song.
Well, yeah.
Did you already have like the choreo in your mind? Because you hadn't heard the Mariah version?
He actually, so I had performed with him like for many years, and he typically would just let me create on stage. Like I
really?
would just improv.
That
And
is
then,
so
the Beautiful Ones and that tour in particular, like he was like, no, he had to like approve of like the choreography and stuff.
Oh,
so
wow.
no, I didn't have the freedom to just do my own.
Did he ever mention the Mariah version? Did you talk about it?
I don't think that we ever. I'm sure we talked about Mariah, but I can't recall. Really.
Now, how did that even come to be? Like, Prince just calls you up and it's like,
Yeah.
come on tour with me?
Kind of.
Where were you? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
well,
It was crazy. It happened. I'm
life.
like, I still like.
That is so wild.
I never really ever got like a straight answer from him about like how he found me and stuff. But like,
And what stage were you at?
Yeah.
Like, in,
I
like,
was
how
a soloist
you were a soloist?
with the company.
With ABT?
With ABT, yeah. I think I was like 26, maybe something like that. And we were on a layoff, which they're called. So we have like our downtime from ABT. It just varies depending on the season and what tours we have booked. So for the most part, we have like 2 months in the summer that we're like off. And then we'll have weeks here and there. So I was in downtime, and I woke up one morning to a text from a friend of mine that I grew up with in California, and she worked for an organization like connected to dance still. And she was like, someone just called me and Prince is trying to get a hold of you. And I woke up and I was like, what is she talking about? Prince of like what country?
Which
like,
Prince?
Which one?
Yeah,
The
it
character?
was really
Yeah.
odd. And I remember my husband, well, he wasn't my husband then, he was my boyfriend, and he was not in the country. So I was just like by myself, and I was just like, and I didn't have a manager. Like that's not something that ballet dancers have. Like what happened with us was really rare and for like a special purpose, I think, just because of the position I'm in and being able to bring my voice to all that.
Yeah.
But dance-wise,
But you
like,
need
we don't
that.
typically have, outside of our companies, that's it. So I was just kind of on my own. And I was like, sure, I guess you can pass my number to him. And so then I was at Steps on Broadway, which is right up
Around here in the
I
neighborhood.
take class
Yeah.
sometimes. And I was in ballet class, and I knew that he'd be calling at some point, but I wasn't given anything specific. So I just like had my cell phone by the bar,
Yeah.
and I was taking class. And this actually, he would call in. It would be like a no number would come up. So I was like, well, my phone's lighting up, so I think that might be him. So I just like walked out of class and like went into the cafe, and that was the first time we spoke on the phone.
Wow.
And he was like, "Can you come like in a couple of days to LA to film a music video?" Of his. And then from there on, like we just stayed in touch for years, and I toured with him through France. And did some touring in California and here, and it was really
wild
incredible.
times.
Yeah.
Now, did he ever give you any advice or any
tons.
encouragement? Like,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. I mean,
So y'all would just sit and talk.
You were hanging out.
That's crazy.
I knew him very well for like 5+ years or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that Mariah was like my first mentor without, being present
from
in
afar.
my life.
Right.
Yeah, from afar, that I feel like I gained so much like confidence about like who I was and wanted to be like as a young woman, especially a young Black woman. But I feel like Prince was kind of that person that came in that was in a similar position, I feel, in terms of me looking up to someone as an artist who was Black and that I respected. And he was just constantly saying like, be who you're going to be. Like, doesn't matter. Like, if you're not like anyone else, like he was always pushing me to be, to own like my differences. And I think that's something that he was so good at. Really.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's something that I really like held on to. It's just, I'm not in a place where I could really conform, like, being the only Black woman in American Ballet Theater for over a decade before I was then promoted to principal dancer, I think almost another decade later, practically.
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like having those two people in particular to look up to were huge impacts on me because of who they were as artists.
So interesting that they're not even related to ballet.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like most of my mentors are not. I think Raven Wilkinson was probably the first that was really someone that I was like, okay, this is literally like was in my position and I can connect with her, But I had amazing Black women that came into my life that were just kind of there at the right time and right place, and that allowed me to feel like not giving up and just kind of pushing through, and that it's okay to be the first. It's and that's
Right,
a terrifying thing. And then when I learned about Raven, it was just like, what? Like my eyes were just opened. I saw a documentary on her about the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, which is the company she danced in. And I had no idea. She was the only Black woman that ever danced in the company, I think. Well, she was the first one to be taken in the 1950s. And she came on the screen and I was like, I had no idea that there was another ballerina. I mean, I knew there were Black ballerinas, but they're not ever given a platform like that. But for a company in that time to be a Black woman and to have toured the South, and, she ended up leaving the company because her life was being threatened by the KKK.
Oh my God. How Have you had anything weird like that happen?
Not the KKK.
Not KKK, but like animosity for you being in the ballet, in the American ballet?
Well,
From other people, obviously not within.
Of course. I mean, not like haven't been like threatened with like torches, but no,
right.
It's like
it's much more subtle.
It's much more subtle. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and of course, when you have social media and being on the internet, and it's really insane the things. But I just I know that it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not like these people don't know me. I feel like that's just how I like. And I try not to read any of it.
Yeah.
Right. But then if I see something that I feel like this is a moment that I can bring this topic to the forefront and kind of talk about it and
open up the conversation.
Yeah, open up the conversation, then I will.
Yeah.
But I won't just deal with like petty people.
That's
But
so
I get it all
weird
the time.
because I think Martin said to me the other day, because I was like, oh, you're like, I've read every article about Misty there is. And he's like, well, I wonder like what her like, naysayers say. And I was like, I don't think she has any because I've read everything. And I didn't see any negativity.
No, it's interesting.
But I'm sure it's there.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's there.
A lot of it again is like not. It's interesting because I'm in an art form where it's subjective. So,
right.
I have to take that with a grain of salt as well. Right. Like, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and it is what it is. And I've taken on that, that's what it's going to be. But people will just say things about things you can't change about yourself. And to me, that I'm like, that's just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, well, your arms are so hairy. You're so short. You're too brown. I'm like, cool, great.
Okay, well, that's
too bad.
me.
Well, I like it. I'm
Deal
fine.
with it.
I'm pretty happy over here. Prima Ballerina.
Well, I feel like that's what Mariah. Yeah, I feel like that's what Mariah did when she switched into the Butterfly album. She was like, "This is how I am.
it.
Like, deal with it. I'm feminine.
You gotta
I
go
wear
for
short
it.
skirt. Yeah,
it's so great. Now, before we go, like, how I was saying earlier, Mariah has influenced you, and then you are now out there influencing other, young ballerinas to, in whatever, whether it's becoming a ballerina or just whatever they want to do in your life, you're encouraging them. And like, how do you take that on? And like, I can't imagine, like, you're a mentor to so many. Mm-hmm. How do you just naturally know how to mentor somebody?
Yeah, that's not something I ever like thought about or that anyone ever asked me to do. I think that it happened really organically. Once I became like a semi-professional, professional, and I would get letters from young people, and I think also just the way the ballet world is structured, that a lot of people don't realize that it's so much about passing down like knowledge and experiences. It's really ingrained in the culture. Like, there are full ballets that there's no real record of. And like, we're trusting that these ballerinas from the past, they'll come and they'll like set the ballet. So they'll teach it from their memory and from like the way they were coached by someone that's probably been long gone. And so I feel like that kind of relationship has been just like a natural thing for me. And I think it's just, seeing how Mariah impacted me in the most positive way. Mm-hmm. Like, I know how important it is for people to have someone that they can relate to and that is going to be like a strong backbone for them. And even if you don't know them, like, the words of encouragement I feel like I've gotten from Mariah through her music has played such a huge role in, like, I think, who I am as a Black woman, as a ballerina, as a human, as an artist. Yeah. And so I'm just like forever grateful for her.
I mean, I think I am as well. I think everyone listening is a big Mariah fan.
Do you ever think about the fact that Mariah's mother went to Juilliard?
Yeah,
because of the full circle moment happening
all of it.
with you.
It's all a lot. It's all crazy.
Right?
It's all crazy. And then of course my MC initials.
Of course,
MC.
Of course.
Yes.
Now, how much? Earlier you were talking about your niece, Mariah. Yeah. Now, how much persuasion did you give your sibling to be like, you must name this baby?
Yeah.
No, it was a fight between me and my sister. She's like, well, clearly I'm older than you, so I'm going to name my kid Mariah first. No, my whole family was Mariah. We were all Mariah fans. Like, my oldest brother, Doug, he's the one who like found out. We didn't know who she was, and he came home one day and he was like, guys, there's this biracial woman and she's like 19 and like she's amazing. And then my whole family just fell in love with her instantly. And then my little brother Cameron, like, he would just bawl his eyes out whenever we would get into the car when he was really young, and my mom would put Mariah's album on and he would just be like, in silence.
In
we were
heaven.
like, sweet. So you just have to listen to this on repeat.
Yeah.
All the time. But no, but my sister, no, it was like a fight. I was like, I'm going to name her. She's like, well, you're like, what, 13 or something? It's like, clearly you're not going to have a baby.
You're trying to reserve the name.
Yeah. She got it first, but I'm like, well, I have her initials.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how it all comes down to. MC and MC.
MC and MC.
Now, Misty, have you ever seen Mariah live?
I have. She was my very first concert.
Oh, wow.
I was trying so hard to find my T-shirt from the concert, but I think I sent it to my husband's mom because she keeps all of my things, and I'm like, I'm not going to use every day. But no, I was.
Okay,
I think I was
what concert
16.
was it?
Which was it?
It was
16th Butterfly Tour.
Heartbreak.
No,
was it
Rainbow.
Rainbow?
It was
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
It was
Oh,
Rainbow.
yeah, right.
Oh,
Yep.
God, I saw the big butt was Rainbow.
That was my first concert too.
That was that was my gateway album, Rainbow.
Oh my
That's where I joined the party.
That was a good
Martin
one.
came on that Rainbow era, but I'm like you, day one. I'm like Vision of Love all the way. But that was
Rainbow. And I remember because I had switched to the new ballet school with a new teacher, and I mean, you could never miss ballet class, not for anything.
Yeah.
And my sister was like, Mariah's coming. She's gonna be in LA. Like, we're going. And my teacher was like, absolutely not. You are not missing a class. So I like ditched class. I went to my Mariah.
Oh my God.
I did. I was
like, I had
the
to.
one time I was a rebel.
I'm doing this. Yeah.
We literally were in like the last row in the top. We could barely see her, and I was crying the whole time.
Oh my God. Same here. I love that tour. Oh my God. So you saw her in LA. I think she played the Staples Center.
Yep, it was the
and
Staples
MTV,
Center.
that's when they went behind the scenes. And they
Oh,
filmed
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh my God. That's an iconic moment.
I know. So that was my first concert. Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah.
Have you been to others?
I have not of hers.
Oh, she's coming to town
I know,
soon.
there have been so many. I'm like looking at Gilda. There have been so many moments.
Gilda,
that I was
you've got to make it happen, Gilda.
Looking at her
I
manager.
was supposed to like meet her, see her, and I call myself, well, other people call me grandma too, but I get tired really early, like grandma.
Well, you
cannot
also
handle
probably
it.
get up really early.
Yeah.
What time do you get up?
Well, it's not that early, but I get up at 3. No, I'm just kidding. Because usually I'll have like performances will go until 11 sometimes, and I start my day around 9:30. So we're dancing the whole time. So I'll have a full rehearsal day and then a small break, and then we'll perform.
Wow.
Yeah, it was at the Essence Festival the last time I was supposed to see her, and she was like the closer, like the big performer.
Right.
And I had just finished my season that night before in New York, and I was there speaking, doing some book event stuff, and like I couldn't do it. Mariah was going to come. Of course, she was late, and she
As usual.
And I was
Standard.
Gilda was like, she had worked so hard. She said it. She's like, we're going to do it. You're going to meet her. You're finally going to meet her.
Yeah.
And I turned to Gilda and I was like, Gilda, I'm really tired. I can't do it. And she
You got to
was
be.
like,
Yeah.
No,
I was like, I can't, and I can't meet her this way.
like,
You got to be
just-
prepared. You got to be ready for it.
No, believe me,
Mariah knows him.
Back in, well, I mean, I'm probably on the stalker list. But
Okay, at least she knows who you are.
no, I've met Mariah so many times,
Oh my
I
God,
can't
no,
even.
it has to be perfect.
But you know,
I've backed out, so I can I
in
can't.
my
I just
younger
met- yeah.
years,
Like a
I would
dream.
run around. I would be chasing Mariah. Now it's like, girl, I cannot.
I can't keep up.
I can't keep up.
Yeah.
She's doing too much in my old body.
Well, I just met her
Please.
for the first time, and everything you think is going to go wrong goes wrong.
Okay. See, that's, so
Hi.
there's nothing no way I can control anything.
Yeah,
I've
like-
been like trying to control it
No,
for like a
don't.
decade. And
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just let it happen.
I think you do it
I
the
think
first
it's gonna
time.
happen.
Yeah.
Well, we connected for the first time like over like Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
And
yes, I
that
saw
was
that.
really wild. Yeah, and that's
Like
been-
She
that
knows
was
you?
like,
Yeah,
she
like we were
does.
like direct messaging for a
wow.
while, like back and forth, and it was just so sweet. She was like supporting me with the Nutcracker film, and you know, and she was just like, "It's so amazing that I could even be a small part of your journey as a ballerina." And I was just like, "Okay, I could die now."
Well, it's funny to think that she started you moving, dancing, and now here you are
it's
doing these amazing
wild.
things.
And it's amazing that she knows that, and then I've been able to say to her like as much as I can, like everything that she means to me, and then for me to say from one MC to another MC, and then she signed off the same way. I was like, oh my god.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. All right. What's our time? Are
How's
we good on
timing?
time? We got to go. So we're going to wrap it up. Okay, so last minute moments.
Yes.
I want to talk about Raven Wilkinson very quickly. I know she recently passed.
Yes, yeah.
But what was she for you in your life? Because I just watched the documentary.
Yeah, and about Ballerina's Tale.
Yes.
And she's in
it, and I love that moment. And you guys are like,
doing
the dances
moves together,
and everything
yeah.
like that.
That's like such a great example of how these ballets are passed down.
Right.
You know, like we
Right.
did the exact same role, like the same position and everything, and she remembered it from I don't know how many years ago. But yeah, I don't know. She became. I found out who she was with the documentary, and then I would talk about her in a lot of my interviews, and my manager Gilda was like, "Who is this woman?" And she looked her up and found out she lived a block from me. She just lived around the corner, all these years.
Oh
and
my
she'd
God.
been coming to see me perform, and I had no idea she was ever in the audience.
Yeah.
And so we became really, really close, and she was just like. She was like another Mariah for me. She's like this little angel in my life. And every time that we'd like get off the phone or she'd leave me a message before a performance, and she'd always say, "I just want to be the wings at your back or the wind at your back whenever you're on
God, so
stage." And it was
sweet.
just,
We all need somebody like that.
But it was just incredible for me to be in a position where I feel like I'm living out what she should have had in terms of a career, like being a Black woman in classical ballet. And so, I just feel like she's with me and so many other Black dancers that just weren't given an opportunity or, I'm standing on their shoulders, and I wouldn't be here without them like paving the way and slowly breaking down barriers. So it is not just my effort. Whenever I'm like, people are like, "But you did it." I'm like, I did a little bit.
A little bit.
Do you feel like the barriers are broken down, or there's
No,
more to
not
do?
at all.
More,
No,
a long way
but
to go.
I mean, the fact that I'm the first, in a major ballet company of this stature, when it comes to American Ballet Theater, New York City Ballet, and Paris Opera, Royal Ballet, there's never been a Black woman in this position, so it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Huge deal.
For me to be in this place and for people to see me, and it's important, I think, for me just to get my face out there, my voice out there, and for young people to be able to say like, that's something I can do. And that's been a big part of it, is that like parents don't want to put their kids in something that they know they're not going to have a future in, or they're going to experience racism or not,
No point to it.
Yeah, no point
Yeah.
to it. So it just makes me proud to be in this position and be able to like bring all of these incredible people with me every time I perform. And it's like, I'm like this vessel to carry out, what they worked their whole lives for. So
It's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You're doing the best job at it.
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wish we had more time with
I
you,
know,
Misty.
me
I
too.
really do, because there is so much to talk about.
There will always be
There will
more to
always be
talk
more
about.
Mariah, more Mariah,
Yes.
more Mariah.
Yeah, but before you go, like, where can our listeners find you, and
Yes.
what are you up to?
So American Ballet Theater spring season is going to open in May. So we have a 2-month season there, Metropolitan Opera House. And you can go to abt.org and get like the dates that I'm performing. I have some new roles that I'm really excited about. Manon, I'm doing ballet based on the story of Jane Eyre.
Oh, wow.
An old Twyla Tharp ballet that she created long time ago called Deuce Coupe, and it's all Beach Boys music, which
Wow.
is very
Oh, that's
rare
fun.
to see
Really?
a ballet company do something like that.
Yeah.
So those are like 3 pieces I'm super excited about. And then of course Swan Lake, which I do every season. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I got to get my butt to the ballet.
When's
I'm
the,
telling you,
yeah.
Misty Copeland, you will be the first ballet I go to.
I would love
We
to
need,
have you
for
guys.
real.
Please.
We'll have to do for sure.
We need
Get
a
you
Mariah
guys.
ballet.
I know.
Let's
We
get that
almost
in
got
the
a
works.
Prince ballet, and then that fell
Yes.
Ooh.
That was
Oh,
close,
wow.
But yeah. We'll have to get a Mariah one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, let's do it.
Well, let's
Yeah,
do it.
we're
Let's- Here we are.
We'll
All right.
consult.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, please. Come on.
Misty,
Get
thank
that
you
done.
so much for coming. It is an
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
A real
And you're
thrill.
amazing.
Thank
It
you.
was so nice to meet you guys.
And
Thank
we
you so much
hope
for
to have you
having me.
back.
Please come back. Talk
I
Mariah.
will definitely be back.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
your neighbor, so.
That's true.
Oh, yeah,
We're
we'll come over
right around the
anytime.
corner.
We'll talk
We're
Mariah.
pals.
We can watch glitter together.
Yes.
We can
Oh
do
my
all kinds of
gosh.
things.
my God.
I was dying.
Okay, we
Do you
need
know
to talk about
Mariah
that.
was just
I was
in-
by myself at the theater when I saw that. I was
me
in
too.
San Francisco.
Yes.
And I was crying by myself at the theater.
Mariah,
good?
you know, Mariah is performing songs from
Yes, I know,
Glitter.
I
Yes,
know,
and
I
she
know.
said just last night, she's like, I actually watched Glitter for the first time in like so many years. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Isn't
like,
it crazy to
Mariah.
see like Padma? I couldn't get
I
it
know.
when Top Chef came out. I was like, why does she look so familiar?
I know.
And
It's
like
Silk.
weeks later, I was like, oh my god, she's a
Same thing happened. I was like, is that Silk?
Silk.
She's doing well. Yeah.
She's doing very well for
Billy
herself.
down.
Yeah.
So when the turns
And-
so down, bring Billy all the way up.
Yeah.
Misty. All right, guys, we have to go. Misty,
go.
thank you again.
Thank you.
It's so nice to meet you guys.
Bye.
You as well.
Wow.
What a treat.
I'm hashtag obsessed with Misty now.
Obsessed with Misty. She is, hello, welcome to the Lamely girl.
Yeah. What do you mean? She was in.
I know, she was already in.
She found you. You found your people.
I know. We're here. She is so sweet. She's
Yeah.
so amazing, so beautiful, so
Yeah.
much fun.
I know.
I love her.
Misty needs to come back so we can get into more Mariah talk.
Exactly. We did not have enough time with her. She's a busy girl.
Busy.
I mean, she is doing this, that, and the other. And today was this was her off day.
Yeah.
And she still is
Busy.
She's booked, honey.
Yeah.
She's booked.
All right. Well, thank you, Misty, so much for joining us.
Yes.
That was amazing. Don't forget, listeners, you can check Misty out in her documentary, Misty Copeland, A Ballerina's Tale.
Yes, you absolutely can.
Much watched
Yes.
television.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. We didn't even get a chance to really dig into it.
Yeah.
You can follow her on Instagram at the Misty On Point.
Yeah.
You can check out her books, which are really, really great. Well, her book, Life in Motion, is actually going to become...
Oh my gosh, you just got announced. It's going to
Yeah.
become a... We didn't even talk about
we
that.
didn't even talk... Girl, we had too much Mariah.
Too much Mariah.
It's going to be a movie. They're turning her life story into a movie.
I can't wait.
It's so good. There's also... Misty was kind enough to autograph my photo book that I have of her. She has a photo book out called Misty Copeland by
Greg Delman.
It's a photo book.
Beautiful
and
pictures.
it's so beautiful.
And Mariah,
So
can we get a book too, please?
I know. Can we get a Mariah book like this?
Yeah,
Come on.
I know. Greg,
I'm like,
call Greg
if
up.
Misty Copeland can do it,
Yeah.
Mariah definitely can do it.
I know, right?
Anyways,
Also, check out the new children's illustrated book called Trailblazer. It's the story of ballerina Raven Wilkinson, which is one of
Right.
Misty's Misty's idols.
we were talking about a little earlier.
Misty wrote a foreword for the book.
It's so good.
I
So
know.
I really love the whole story of how Mariah influenced her, and now she is like passing it on.
Yeah.
Another thing we didn't talk about was she has this program with the American Ballet Theater called Project Plie, and it's like a fund or whatever for like all the inner city kids or like kids that can come and take ballet class and sort of mentor the young kids, so we can get more diversity into the ballet theaters that
Yeah.
are so exclusively white for so long.
Right. Well, not even that. Just another way for kids to exercise and be healthy.
Right, exactly.
You
Or
have to
just to
become-
open up their eyes to the world of ballet. Because
or
like
dance.
if you're not in the world of ballet is so like rigid and strict.
Yeah.
And I think Misty really came in and she is shaking things up.
Yeah.
Because she is like the opposite of that, but she is like one of the most talented ballerinas of all time. Like seriously, you guys have got to become hashtag obsessed with Misty.
Yes.
Because I am.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
And thank you, everybody who helped make that happen.
Exactly. Yes. Her manager, Gilda, who is a sweetheart.
Yes.
Her assistant. Everybody's fabulous. She has a great team around her.
I know. Such a good time.
Absolutely. So thank you for listening to the Mariah Report. Hopefully Misty will be back on a future episode.
Yeah.
And
We have a position available.
We have a third co-host chair ready for her. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all those things, as well as Misty, because she is just a doll.
Yeah.
She's an absolute doll.
She's Lamely.
She is. This is our family, y'all.
Support
y'all
the
better,
lamb.
y'all
Support.
better learn about all the Lamelies.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.